out. I can't be playing around with something like this when I'm doing a figure review. You see what I'm saying? So I need to take this off. We'll talk about that in another video. So, check it out, guys. Back with another fresh Varano review. Today we're looking at the brand new X Plus release in just January 2016. It is the Toho Large Monster Series, the Destroy All Monsters complete Volume 2 set with Baragon and Varan. Okay? Bam! Let's get right into this. We're not going to waste any time. Figure was released as a set January. Actually, they were released in Japan in December 2015, on the ass end of 2015. I got mine January 2nd, 2016. Okay, so the brand new X Plus has decided they're going to start doing figure sets based around Destroy All Monsters. The first figure set, Volume 1, was Manda and Mothra Larva, which I reviewed previously. So make sure you check out that review. Okay, so the box. Box was basic. Brown box. You got the figure art on the front. Over here you have Toho Large Monster Series, Destroy All Monsters, Volume 2 complete set. You got Baragon and Varan, okay? And then you got the monsters right there. Pretty basic and simple. So, let's talk about Baragon first, okay? Baragon. Now, we had already had a previous 25cm standing Baragon. Fortunately, I don't have it with me at the moment right now because it's packed away, because I'm moving soon at the time of this recording. So, I don't have him on hand to do a size comparison. But in 2013, late 2013, we already had a 1965 version of Standing Baragon. This version is the 1968 version from Destroy All Monsters. The first version was from Frankenstein Conquers the World. Yes? Yes! Okay? So, I don't really know the differences. I didn't want to look at the 65 standing version because I wanted to be able to look at this figure, review it for what it is, you know, and not so much compare it to the other one. On that note, I will say, for those of people that do not have the 1965 version of Standing Baragon, this is a great opportunity to get a standing version of Baragon to complete the Destroy All Monster setup, right? Right. Okay? So, where was I going with that? I don't know. This is the Standing Baragon. Bam! There's also a crawling 25cm Baragon, which is awesome. I think that one's the must-have. That's just me saying that. But don't take my word for it. What do I know? Okay? So, let's look at the figure. Paint job, first of all, the paint job is very nice. It is, Baragon is mostly dark browns throughout the whole figure. Some highlights on here on the legs, little bumps and whatnot. You know, just some nice shadowing and whatnot. Looks really good. The eyes are painted nice. The horn is actually translucent, so that is a tinted yellow looking like vinyl. The ears have nice shades of white to accent his ears, so that looks good. Mouth is painted nice, pink gummy looking gums, teeth white. The claws and fingernails are bone white. Those look really, really well done. Okay. The back, let's look at the back. The back has nice shades here, blending right from the back of the neck, from the dark browns with the rest of the figure, right down the back. So this is a nice shade of you know, almost like a bone white, off brown looking going. Not really bone white. What am I saying? And that goes down all the way to the end of the tail right there. So that looks good. The paint job looks really, really well done. The eyes look great. I love Baragon. I'm a big Baragon fan, especially since it's off Frankenstein Conquers the World. It's a shame they didn't really use him more in Destroy All Monsters. Just saying. So, the sculpt and detail, you know, that's one department, people. The detail is really superb on this figure. There's a lot of things that really stand out to me on this Baragon. Again, I don't have the other one to compare, but I noticed on the back here, there's a lot of nice details on all the grooves, his plate, you know, his plate back, his frills and all that. So that looks really well. It goes all the way down the tail. Each little back plate here has all these cracks and grooves in them, all the way down from the back of the neck, all the way down to the tail. The legs over here have cracks and scratches in them. I'm thinking maybe that's just how the suit looked in 1968, because remember, the suit was used I think 3 times in Ultraman. First being the Ranga, what was that, episode 3 or 4 in Ultraman? So the suit was used many times in 1966, you know, after Frankenstein Conquers the World in 1965. So the suit was beaten down a lot. That's also why, let's talk about the sculpt for a second here. That's also why Baragon looks a little chunky in the stomach area. So the suit, it's what, 1968, 1960, you know, that's 3 years, duh, I'm not very good at math. 3 years after the suit was originally made, it was sitting around being used, getting beat up Ultraman, and then they bring it back for Destroy All Monsters. You know, the suit's got some wear and tear, so it's starting to sag and whatnot, okay? So that's why he looks a little bigger in the stomach area. Maybe he was eating too many horses or something, you know, whatever. I don't know what his diet is, so don't ask me. So the sculpt, I think it looks great. I'm really impressed by all the detail that went into this. It looks really, really good. Okay, no articulation at all. The legs don't move. There are some seams around the arms up here. On the neck, not really. It doesn't seem to be a seam. Yeah, it's a seam around the neck up here. Okay, right around the neck. That's the seam. Not a big deal. And then, of course, the tail. You got to put the tail on. So, like I always do, I haven't had a problem all that often. I heat up this section of the body here. Keep this. If I need to, I put it in the freezer to get it nice and hard, and then I put it on. I always get the tails on in about, I don't know, 2 minutes or less from start to finish. Okay, so that's pretty easy. So paint job's good, detail's nice. Everything about this figure looks really good. Okay, let's move on to Varan. Stand over here, Baragon. Varan, now this is the puppet version of Varan that we saw in Destroy All Monsters. They didn't bring back a full suit. The original suit Varan, remember, Varan came out in 1958. So that suit is 10 years old at the time of Destroy All Monsters. It didn't survive. So Toho and, they decided, let's make a puppet of Varan because they were bringing all their monsters back. And they made the puppet version here. Okay, so this is the puppet version. This is what you saw in the promotional stills for Destroy All Monsters. Varan's just hovering in the background, just flying over above. And he does a little crawl, a little action, but he has no action in the final climatic battle against King Ghidorah at the base of Mount Fuji. No. So the figure itself here, again, much like Baragon, a lot of browns, it's a plain, simple, basic paint job. The dorsal spines, spikes, whatever you want to call them, these are translucent vinyl, much like the 30 centimeter Varan and the crawling 25 centimeter Varan. Again, and they're soft too, so you run your finger right down there, not a big deal. It doesn't hurt you, but those are translucent vinyl, and I don't see any bubbling in them, kind of like I did on the other ones, but not a big deal. It doesn't really matter. His squirrel-like membrane here, how he flies, so that's expanded a little bit. That's nice for the crawling action. The detail's really well done. The figure itself, it's not really in scale at all with any of the other kaiju from Destroy All Monsters as far as the X Plus lineup goes. So, again, it's the puppet. The puppet version was much smaller and he was in the distance. So you'd almost have to display him back here to give it the effect if you're going to set all your X Plus figures up together and make it look like a damn lineup. You know what I'm saying? Good. So, actually, one little thing. Alright, so obviously we'll talk about the rock. Then I'm going to say what I say. It comes with a rock. Much like the Manda and Mothra set that you see behind me, they came with rocks too. You rest him on the rock. Yay, he's resting on the rock. I kind of wish they put a hole in this and a stand like the Mothra adult 61 and 64, and you could have had him, why not just put a little hole in there, just put a rod in, and you have him flying. Not a bad idea. Or, if you guys don't want to, customize anything and start messing with the figure, you can use the SH Monster Art stands or some kind of concoction like that, and you could prop him up. So I think that's maybe the route I might go. I don't know. For the time being, he's going to sit on his rock. Okay, so that's Varan. There's really nothing too extraordinary about him. It's nice for what it is. It's representing the puppet from Destroy All Monsters. There's a seam around the neck. Not seams around the calves, at the kneecaps. You don't have to put the tail on, and it comes just like this right out of the box, and just plop them on your rock, and you're good to go. So that is Varan. That's, again, if you didn't catch the 25 centimeter crawling Varan, and you're looking to complete a Destroy All Monsters lineup, this is your best bet to go with people. Okay, so that's my 2 cents. So what do I think here? What are my final thoughts? Final thoughts. Great set. I love Baragon. I almost thought it was kind of overkill for me to even get this set because I already have the 25 centimeter crawling Baragon. I have both the 25 centimeter standing Baragon and crawling Baragon, so why do I need another Baragon? I'm like, why? Because I'm a nut. I was like, I gotta review it, so I might as well get it. And I'm like, I'm just silly. I'm a collector. People, this is what we do. We collect things, okay? I don't really need to explain myself. You already know I'm crazy. Okay? So, that is that. That is Baragon and Varan by X Plus. The 25 centimeter Toho Large Monster Series Destroy All Monsters Complete Volume 2 set. Bam! Okay, so that's all I got to say about that. Make sure you check out freshvinylhq.com. Hit me up on Facebook if you're looking for questions or whatnot. We got some Fresh Vinyl shirts. This one's mine. It's red. Red's my favorite color, so I like to rock the red. Bam. And That's all I got. Make sure you guys check out the next Fresh Vinyl review, and we'll see you next time. BAM!